All right, that's it. Hold on to your hats, folks. Yabba dabba doo time. It is Friday Fun Day. My name is Rob Appell. I'm a quilt maker out in Quitman, Texas at Stitchin Heaven, and that's where I'm standing today. Welcome to the beautiful set. We're going to talk a lot about this giant pile of fabrics behind me throughout the day, which is super exciting. We're doing our live show. It's Friday afternoon, and I normally do about a 25 to 35-minute little broadcast. I'm going to catch you all up on the week's activities. I'm going to tell you about some of the really fun things we've been working on. And I apologize if I seem just a little low energy. My goodness, it's, like I said, Friday afternoon, and we have been hustling all week, making a bunch of wonderful content for you. So I travel out to Texas at least once a month, spend a bunch of time on camera, and we've been having a great time. So I'll bring you up to speed with some of those kinds of things as we go through today. Let me start by saying hello to the 72,000, and I only say 72,000 because I haven't checked in the last few minutes. We might be to 73,000 right now. If we're not, please subscribe if you have not done so already. Hit the little like button. Make sure you're sharing the videos. That's the most important way to help the channel grow. Share it with your friends. Have a good time out there with that. Hit the little notification button as well so that you don't miss any of our live or crazy spontaneous activity. We have a Facebook group, and today, welcome to all of our members out there on Facebook. I'm looking in the comments to see if I have anyone commenting from Facebook. I am trying to simulcast out on Facebook as well as YouTube today. So at the end of the day, we'll do a little quality check on the video and the audio. And as a reminder, you can set your settings all the way up to 1080 high def video. But if you're not in a great internet area because it's a live stream, that may or may not affect some of the streaming quality. So anyways, we're putting it out in the best it's got. We'll see how that works on Facebook. This is our first time back on Facebook with a live in a while. So comment away. I'll see if I can see what's coming in. This is going to be really exciting. And whoops, I hit the wrong button, didn't I? That's what I was trying to push. Well, you can see I'm back in control of the control panel over here. And I don't know if control or out of control is the right word, but we're going to have a good time anyways today. I have a couple of the links in the description as we go through. Some of the videos we're going to talk about, some of the special offerings we're going to talk about. And speaking of special offerings, I don't want anyone to forget, we have a really fun special offering going on right now on the quilting cruise, the Stitchin at Sea Quilting Cruise 2025. It's an October cruise with Tiffany Hayes and Heidi Pridemore. You don't want to miss out on signing up. We have a $500 shopping spree that is up for grabs. So that's pretty fun out there. And that cruise is sailing to a bunch of fantastic destinations on the Eastern Caribbean. That's going to be amazing. And if that cruise doesn't work into your itinerary, please check out the Stitchin Heaven Quilting Cruises pages, and you can see all of the incredible cruises that are coming up throughout the rest of the season, and we'll be posting new ones very, very soon for all y'alls out there. Get my texting in while I'm here this week. Now, speaking of special events coming up, I don't want you to forget on June 8th through 13th, this year, Mark Durrell, the Quilting Marine, Andrew Lee, the Combat Quilter, and yours truly, Mr. Rob Appell, will be in Shipshewana doing wonderful quilts to celebrate our veterans out there. And we're calling it a Socation, and we also have those listed. We used to call them Land Ahoys, but now they're called Socation. So we have several of those listed at the Stitchin Heaven site as well. This is a great opportunity for those of you who maybe don't like to travel at sea, or you don't want to be quite around as many folks. Those cruise ships nowadays will hold 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people at a time. Of course, they're not all quilt makers. Don't get me wrong. There's not a giant rush like that for the irons, but like again, we have roughly 40-ish or 60-ish folks that'll join us at a hotel. A little bit more quiet, a little bit more demeanor that way. So anyways, that's a really fun thing, and we're looking forward to that. The other reason that the hotel experiences are so fun is we've been told we're allowed to bring our Nerf guns. So if you're already signed up for Shipshewana, make sure you have a Nerf gun in your suitcase. Pistols preferred, please. Now, as we move on, this is something I caught wind of. We started talking about during the Saturday Sew-On, and this is really cool, folks. Netflix has done a documentary series. I've seen the trailer called The Quilters. It's coming up May 16th, so that's a few weeks from now. But what it looked like to me, I don't want to give false information, but it looked like a documentary inside of a state prison. Maybe it's a federal prison, but these are incarcerated, it looked like mostly men, making quilts and discussing what that does for them. And their connection to the outside. So you know me it so well. I believe using my hands, using my creativity helps me with my wellness. Well, I have a feeling this is going to be one more reassurance that yes, sewing is therapy. Make sure you're doing plenty of it. Really, really cool. Oh, great. I see ACJ is out there, and of course, Carl and Patty and everyone else. That's fantastic to see you all joining along. If you are on Facebook and you're watching, please go ahead and give us a comment. I think that the colors change on my screen, but I'm not sure. I'd like to see if I can see that happen today. What's that? We're good on Facebook. Thank you, sir. Okay, we've got tech coming in saying we're good on Facebook. And speaking of tech and the silly things that Elijah and I get to do, this is just one quick picture of what we were up to earlier this afternoon. We're preparing for May the 4th, and we were building some droids, of course. And that's all I can say at the moment. I don't want you to get too excited, but I do want you to know that we have a really great droid review coming up May the 4th. I don't want you to miss out on that. Speaking of other fun things, and I guess we can kind of start to talk a little bit about what's going on behind me. It's kind of a Scrap Masters thing, but it's kind of just an awesome thing. It's beautiful on the table kind of thing. Oh, let's see if I push it this way, you can see it better. It's one of these kinds of things on the table kind of thing. But this is what happened is Tiffany Hayes, my partner in crime here in Texas, and myself, we gave ourselves a 15-minute time limit, and we went out to the warehouse and we picked bundles that we're going to custom build. So this is Tiffany's colorway, and I think she might have started one of these in here. So she's got a beautiful pink to peach through the turquoise into the deep blues, if you can see that. And then for me, of course, you know I love my rainbow colorway, geometric. So this was really fun. Here's a picture of us putting it together, but here's the little video of how it happened. Oh, folks, you're welcome. People at home, you are welcome. Look at that. It's happening right now. This is so exciting. But she's slow on the draw. She's got barely one. And look, me, I'm getting my whole cart stacked up. So this is it. We're gonna start building awesome custom bundles for all y'alls to enjoy. And we're kind of just taking a little bit of time out here and access to all of this wonderful fabric. And what we found, one of the keys is, sorry, I don't have a microphone or anything, but one of the keys is to work quickly, right? So that's where your instinct jumps in, is when you work quickly, finding the fabrics that fit within. Uh-oh, she got a good one. Oh, I got a better one. Look at this. Okay, she's done. Let's see what she's got.
I'm done.
What do you have, Tiffany?
I have this lovely assortment. I had no idea what I was starting with.
The bottom row is your row?
Yeah. I pulled this one first and played from that. I don't know what it's going to be or how it's stash. It's stash.
You can notice a difference.
Mine is all batik, so I did limit there for this bundle.
Yeah, we just set some, so I wanted it to be solids and tonals, stuff that would be the geometric. These will go into the different kits and things that we've created in the past that were of a variety of fabrics, not where we use just our fabric line. So these are real quilters quilt bundles. You need more red, yeah?
Yeah, that's great.
This is the one?
I think so.
Hand off.
Yes.
All right. I'm just gonna have a couple of these.
Good.
I just got a few of these here. How about these ones?
Time limit.
We had a time limit. That was it. The time limit helped.
Woohoo, high five.
High five. So wasn't that fun? Okay, now I apologize because we just literally did that last night and I reeled them in this morning. I just got myself a stash to cut. I think it's going to be perfect in the Stash Masters or our Scrap Masters program. It's going to be wonderful for all kinds of different quilt kits. I have a bunch of different workshops I'm teaching at in the near future at a lot of different quilt guilds, and a lot of folks kind of want the rainbow bundle where I've got some textures and things. Let's go to the overhead camera real quick and see if I can push these in, zoom in a little bit for you on those lovely, lovely fabrics. There you go. So again, I like to mix solids and textures, stuff that basically reads as tonals. So sometimes a little bit of these pop colors. And yes, folks, there is Tula Pink in my bundles. There's some incredible basics there from Free Spirit in the bundles, some Moda, some other Free Spirit. So I'm really excited about this. And I believe these are quarter yards, and that's just about the minimum you would need. We can also probably offer half yards. So if this is something you're interested in, please let us know. Drop a comment in the video, or even better, hit me up with an email. Let me put it up on the screen. I've got it down here somewhere. There it is. Go ahead and send me an email, rob@stitchinheaven.com, and let me know if you would like a 1/4 yard or a 1/2 yard. And then probably by next Friday, we'll make sure that we have the link so that you could purchase either my colorway or Tiffany's colorway if you think that would be fun for some of your sewing projects. So let us know. Please get your votes in. That really helps me know how to continue to schedule out the fabric deliveries and all of that kind of stuff. So that's super fun. And speaking of super fun, let's go ahead and dive into our grateful list for today, because there is so much to be grateful for. And that being said, the live quilt along was a huge success. So I should have brought over the quilt top that's in my suitcase, but here's the quilted version. So yes, on Saturday, I'm sorry if you missed it, the tutorial is up, as well as the 9-hour-long live replay is up, where Tiffany and I opened a kit. And I'll trade you. Nice. There you go. So we opened the kit and we started stitching along, and we built the same quilt top right there. This is called the Glowing Checkered Star. Okay, super fun. I have just a few kits left on that, and let me show you what I found. Okay, this is really cool. So from Glowing Checkered Star, I've already pulled a few pictures from our Sew Along Facebook group. This one I really like the multicolors with the checkerboard there. This one's again more in a tonal style, which I really thought was beautiful as well. Here is Tiffany and I at the end of the day. Folks, it really was. It was 9 straight hours. I don't think the machine ever stopped. I don't think the iron ever cooled off. I had, let's see, we went through, I think, 3 entire bobbins, 2 entire containers full of water in the steam iron. We just stitched and stitched and stitched the whole time, and it was super fun. And I was really blessed that Tiffany came along and helped me, because there's no way I could have actually gotten that all done in one day. I don't expect any of you to all get it one day. But here, Carl actually got it done before the end of the weekend, so congrats to Carl, our resident Benner Texarian, and he is a sewing show-off, of course, and he used our pre-cut kit. And don't forget, we have, like I said, I believe 5 or 6 pre-cut kits left. Folks, there are still, to my knowledge, a couple of golden tickets still out there. The golden ticket is a free registration for the Glowing Checkered Star Retreat, and that is with me as the instructor, August 6th through 10th of this year. For more information, you can look at stitchinheaven.com under the retreats page, and make sure if you are interested in a kit, you get it right away. These were limited edition kits, and we only made 50 of them, and we put 5 golden tickets in those 50 kits. And it sounds to me like, if I'm doing the math correctly, there might be a couple of golden tickets still sitting out in that warehouse. So do not delay. Make sure you order yours today. There should be a link in the description for the Glowing Checkered Star Quilt Kit. It just comes in the green like I showed you. If you would like to make your own, there is a free pattern, and that is connected to Wednesday's tutorial that looks a lot like that. That's your thumbnail you're looking for there. So that's part of the announcements and also part of the grateful list. Moving on to item number 2, extended family. Because I was here on Saturday, I was in town for Easter, and you know everyone here in Texas is basically family. So I went to church with my friend Mary and Rebecca there you see in the picture, and then we got to visit, and we made a wonderful ham and macaroni casserole and deviled eggs and green beans, and it was delicious. A couple of days later, I was invited over to Miss Deb's home, where she's got a beautiful pond in her backyard. And one of the things I love the most out here, as you can see by my 3rd thing on the grateful list, is the Texas weather and how beautiful it is. I don't get to eat outside very often, folks. So Deb set us a beautiful table, served us a wonderful pasta and salad and bread. And then it rained like crazy the next couple of days, and then the rain stopped last night, and look how beautiful it was out by the pond. So I really have been enjoying the beautiful Texas weather and the fun family extended fellowship out here this week. It was really nice. The kids on last Friday didn't have school, so there were several youngsters wandering around the shop and in the back of the building. So that's always neat to see, like I said, the extended family. And that's one of the things I love about these small towns, is you always feel like home when you're here. So if you haven't been to our retreat center, if you haven't come out and experienced the blessings of East Texas, I would certainly encourage you to do that. Like I said, the weather is great. Oh, and I'm sorry I didn't put the pictures in time, but when I just came back from my last coffee break, I'm up to 3 turtles I've counted in the pond since it's warmed up. So there's 2 small ones and a big one out there just about an hour ago, and I have the video, but I'm sorry I forgot to input it into the daily video system here. So maybe we'll get that up for you next week with me out there trying to play with the turtles in the pond. And thank you all for commenting on Facebook. I see you coming in, and yes, it's a different color code for me. So I can tell that Margot's on Facebook, but Jenny's on YouTube. So that's really cool, and I can see all of that feed coming through. Thanks again for being out there, everybody. See several of you on Facebook as well today. Now, if you haven't been following the sock saga, you will notice that sock saga is number 4 on the grateful list today, folks. And better than that, it is on the end of the grateful list. This is it. And I don't know, I might be one and done. I'm not saying anything further than this, other than this is the sock. I finished it, heel to toe, the whole thing. I'm pretty excited about it, but it took me a lot longer than I really expected it to. Here's some nice close-ups, of course. There's the toe with the yarn hanging out, of course. I might leave it that way just for fun. I do have a cat at home. It could get dangerous. And then I also have, there's the heel. That's the good side. We'll just leave it at that. If you know Rule 11, we don't need to show the bad side. But it was pretty fun to go ahead and finish off the sock. I love to knit. I do it to keep my hands busy in the evening or while I travel. And I was ensured that sock knitting was for me. But Amy, I think you're a dirty fibber. Just kidding. Amy loves to make socks, but I really like to make beanies. And I think, oh, let's go to overhead. And I think due to the quality of the knitting, right? And it fits, folks. It does fit, but it just took forever. And I would have rather done another beanie. I think this is like serious REI quality knitting here. Like I could do this as a gear-like style as a beanie. But what I also found, and the reason I wanted to finish up and why I'm taking a small break, folks, this is like that yellow cord that you would pull for when you're making a fence line and you need that string across the top, or you're laying down some mason work and you need your string line, keep everything nice and level. That's what this stuff is, but it's color coded. It's 100% nylon. I think it's 18 weight. It's a little bit finer than the yarns I was using, but folks, it's knitting up wonderful. I just started a little sample this morning. Let me show you this in the overhead. And what I think it's going to be really neat about is the fact that it is 100% nylon. So this is actually could be used for like fishing bags, gear, outdoor stuff, hammocks, macrame. So I'm going to make up this, and whether I keep my fishing poles or my hiking sticks in it or something, but because it's nylon versus a cotton or a wool, it's going to be a lot more water resistant and a lot more durable and more soil resistant. So I'm really excited to be playing with this. And it just kind of feels kind of industrial. I guess that's the thing sometimes I like when I'm using my manly sewing skills, right? So anyways, that was fun, and that was kind of the move on. I'll keep you posted with how this goes. I think this olive green is going to be incredible. I kind of wish I started with it first, but I was so attracted to the multi-tone, I got a little ahead of myself. So anyways, that's pretty exciting as well as we dive in. And now, cat toy. I saw that, Marlene. Pretty funny. So now let's go ahead real quick. And before I do my Scrap Masters, my roll and spin for the week, I want to go ahead and discuss last week's Scrap Masters and just remind you how beautiful this bundle would be if you don't have your own bundle of Scrap Master scraps. I think that would be pretty awesome. So last week I had the roll and the spin. We had block number 3. This is what it looked like. 5 colors, and it was a red-orange combo, which is nice because we're starting to get into some other colors and other tones on the table. For all of you who put in your photos, I hope I got them all this week. I appreciate you so much sewing along. Some really fun, beautiful choices. Oh, that's right. This is Facebook's first time doing Scrap Masters. So I will explain what's going to happen here in a moment. These are the folks that have been participating on YouTube, following along for a while here. So I'm just kind of going through some shots I grabbed. This is really fun here. You see a couple of the roosters being used in the I Spy style. And then, of course, here, I left that one up there. Carl, that one was made just with you in mind. I thought that was pretty fun with the cat in the center. And these were all listed on our Facebook So Well group, folks. So, of course, we'd love you to join us out there. But I do need to warn you, I am the gatekeeper. and I will not let you join the group if you do not answer all 3 questions. They're very simple questions, but I need to make sure that you're not going to be a person that's a problem down the road. So you've got to answer the questions or you don't get to come through the gate. That's just the way it works. Now, for those of you who are brand new to this week's Friday Live, maybe you just tuned in because you're watching on Facebook. Maybe you heard about this during the live so-along on last Saturday. Yes, I have created what is called Scrap Masters, and it was inspired by my friend at Rose City Originals, Chris Marcini, who was also doing an AccuQuilt version of this, but we have a 6-block pattern for the Scrap Masters. It's a random scrap block generator. And I'm not sure, but if I zoom in close enough, you might be able to read that there is only one rule, and that is that there are no rules. It's as simple as the fact that we have 6 different blocks, and in a moment, we're going to roll our die, and we're going to spin our color wheel to see what we're using for this week, and then we start sewing, and we all put our pictures up on Facebook. It's super fun. So the first thing we do is we roll the 6-sided die to determine which block we'll use this week. So here we go, Scrap Masters official roll for the week. This is the official roll. I think we're on week number 10, folks, and I think by the time we get up to 16 or so, we'll be making a quilt. Oh, it stayed on the table. It rolled out of sight a little bit. I'm just going to slide it over so that there's no fudging, and that is right. No, we are on block 5 this week. All right, let me show you what block 5 looks like. That's good. I don't know if we've done too many block 5s. Oh, we haven't done too many block 5s. Okay, so here's our block 5 for the week. This is awesome. That's what it looks like. Now we're going to go ahead and roll or do our spin. I need to zoom out a little. There we go. We're going to do our spin. This is going to pick our color for the week. There we go. Big spin, big spin, big spin. Oh, nice. On orange again. Okay, so not too bad of a deal. So we're in the orange family on block 5, and now we're going to take a 20-sided die. 20 numbers on this die, and this represents how many different fabrics you can use in your block. Now, what would be funny, folks, is I don't know if you counted, but I happen to have 20 fabrics in my new Boneyard bundle. I think I want to call it a Boneyard bundle because it came from our stash out in the warehouse. So at any rate, that was kind of the thought, right? So then you would be able to use 20 fabrics. So that means that if we roll a 20, you would use all of them. I don't know. So I'm still kind of building the game as we go, and I'm also really warming up this die. I want a high number. I like the scrappier blocks. So the higher the number, the more parts and pieces you get. That's a high number, right? Where last week, same block, but a much lower number. Okay, that was a 5 versus like a 16. Okay, here we go. Enough stalling, Rob. Just roll the darn thing, would you? Here we go. Oh no! Oh, but that's fun. Okay, there it is, folks. You've seen it for the first time ever on Scrap Masters. The number 1. Officially, the number 1 is a re-roll because nobody wants a one-colored scrap block, right? Or you'd be done. Cut a 12.5-inch block, finished, boring. Okay, so from this moment on, here's the new rules. 1 and 2s are re-rolls. If I roll a 2, it's automatically a 12. Okay, you follow? If I roll anything else, you can add the 1 to it in any way, shape, or form. So here we go. 17. This is what we wanted. So folks, you can now use 17 different fabrics. You can take that 1 and add it to it if you want, making it 18 different fabrics, or you could just put it in a line and use either 117 or 171 different fabrics. Folks, if you can get 171 different fabrics into block number 5 for this week, I think you're going to need more than a prize. I think you're going to need to be committed. No, sorry. So anyway, let's try to work with 17 fabrics this week. We're using block number 5 in the orange. Ready, set, go, Scrap Masters. Get out there and enjoy yourselves. Now, please let me know, like I said, in the comments, what you think about our wonderful Stash Busters, Stash Blocks, our Boneyard Bundles, whatever we're going to call them. Do you like Tiffany's beautiful peach and turquoise colorway? Would you rather have a wonderful rainbow roll like this? Half yards or quarter yard strips? What do you prefer? We haven't started slicing them up yet. And keep in mind, they're super awesome and unique because when one tone runs out, we're just going to shift into another tone or a different print. So we're going to keep the rainbow alive, but the fabrics will be unique. So Patty and Carl, you might have similar but different bundles. You see what I'm trying to do? Make it fun, unique, creative, and simple. So I'm having a blast with you folks. Let's do a quick comments check, see if I've missed any questions out there today. Sorry I didn't have a great answer on the 5-inch square question I saw at the beginning of today's video. So I'm just kind of hoping some of you answered that a little bit. Wonderful. I'm so glad to have so many folks from Facebook joining us today. I hope this was all right. Hey, how was the video feed and the quality? How was the audio out there on Facebook? First time? Oh, good. Stephanie's over there. Let me know, Stephanie, how that looked today. Thank you all for sending Carl some love. Yes, he's recovering from a shoulder surgery. I think the biggest disadvantage of recovering from a shoulder surgery is the downtime from sewing. I think we'd all be going insane at this moment. But Carl, we're praying for you. We're pulling for you out there, buddy. And okay, let's see. Half yards of rainbows. We've got soft colors. Everybody likes it. It's okay. Connie says it's okay. I'm assuming that's the audio and video quality. Well, fantastic, folks. I think that's about it. I am going to wrap it up for this fantastic Friday Fun Day, Stitchin Heaven edition, the 25th of April. I will see you all next week. I should be back out from California if I know my schedule well. I will get to cracking and sewing on my block number 5. And I so appreciate all of you being out there. Again, I really want to say a real heartfelt thank you from everybody here to all of you out there that joined us on Saturday for the live sew along. We really had a great time. It was nice to have kind of tech issue free and have a blast. It was interesting. That 9 hours of sewing felt about like 2 to 2.5 hours for me. It went so incredibly quickly. And like I said, I couldn't have done it without Tiffany. So Tiffany, if you're watching as well today, thank you, my friend, for sewing with me and just being my buddy. So at any rate, folks, thank you so much again for being here. Please enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy the rest of this blessed weekend coming up. We will see you on Wednesday. Oh, this coming Wednesday's tutorial, do I remember even what it is? Oh, that's right. I think it's the Wonky Log Cabin 2.0. So that was the one that you saw on the design wall a few weeks ago. And we already have the tutorial that goes start to finish on that project. So I believe that'll be up for you Wednesday. We'll find out next Friday. I'll see you then. Thanks for being here, folks. Please.